Mississippi Coliseum. It is the 2A boys bracket, and this is the second semifinal matchup. Bay Springs and the Baldwin Bearcats. Should be a lot of fun as the winner of this game will face SV Marshall for a state tournament championship in 2A on March 1st at 2:30. Josh West alongside Stephanie Murphy. So glad you're with us as these two teams are getting ready to announce the respective starting lineups. Let's go ahead and take a look at those starting lineups. We'll start with Bay Springs, the South State champions, coming off that win over William Sullivan. And as we look at the starting lineups for Bay Springs, we'll start with Braden Jones. Jones, the junior, at 5'9", will get the start. He'll be alongside Eric Bender and DeMarcus Clayton. And then also Jonas Spivey and Bruce Stevens rounding out this lineup. So you see it that you have a couple of freshmen in the lineup in Spivey and Stevens. Stevens at 6'6", Spivey at 6'2", Clayton is at 6'5", and then in that backcourt, a senior and a junior, Bender at 5'10", and Jones at 5'9". Let's turn the page and check out the starting lineups for the Baldwin Bearcats. And as we look at the Baldwin Bearcats, it'll be D. Gates. Gates, a junior, will be there in the lineup alongside Duke Upshaw. Get this, an 8th grader in the lineup for this Bearcats team. You think he's going to be special when he's a senior in high school? You bet. And he's joined in the lineup by a freshman all the way at the bottom of the page, Romero Crump, just a freshman, just starting to shave. He's in the lineup. Then Tevin Lindsay, the junior, and Ian Burris, the senior. And rounds out your Bearcats starting lineup. Baldwin, the Bearcats, coached by Jason McKay. The Bulldogs of Bay Springs, coached by Corey Mackey. And these two teams sporting very impressive resumes. Bay Springs, the South #1, as we mentioned, that 92-84 win over William Sullivan. And then, of course, you had Baldwin losing to SV Marshall. Not a bad loss, because guess what? SV Marshall has already punched their ticket to the state championship as SV Marshall defeated William Sullivan earlier this morning. As I welcome in my partner, Stephanie Murphy. Stephanie, all the excitement we had in that 2A girls game with that 60-50 win for Walnut over Taylorsville, I think we're going to see it just take a little more jump in the energy here. Right,
you can already feel it right now in the atmosphere. More people have come into the game, so I think both teams are going to bring a lot of energy. It's probably going to be just as exciting, if not more.
We'll jump to a break. Back in 30 seconds with the opening tip.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to misssaa.tv/SBP.
And a size mismatch at the center of the floor. D. Gates jumping it up against DeMarcus Clayton. 6'5", going up against about 6'1" at center court. Bay Springs is going to be in their home white with royal blue. Baldwin in their road red and white trimmed in black. As the crowd has already been whipped into a frenzy, even more so as we're about to tip this one underway. And that one a little too tall, but the Bay Springs Bulldogs come down with it in the front court. With the basketball and the Mohawk. Working with the left side is Eric Bender. Now to Brandon Jones, right side on the catch. Into the corner. Here's Clayton, and we have a quick hands poked away by Baldwin. It'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Early on, you can see Bay Springs has a tremendous height advantage over Baldwin inside.
Especially with the big freshman Stevens. Here's the drive, the leaner, the teardrop wouldn't go, but skying for the rebound. Another opportunity. Here's a step back three off the back iron miss. And here is the Baldwin Bearcats attacking the rim with Duke Upshaw.
It's a great job of going to the basket.
Absolutely, and we'll have the foul on DeMarcus Clayton. Clayton picks up his first. That's the first on Bay Springs. You look at what Bay Springs has done this year. Their last loss was not even this year. It was on December 27th to Biloxi, 70-51. They haven't lost in the calendar year of 2012. They've won 18 in a row.
That's amazing. And Biloxi is playing in the Coliseum.
Pretty impressive resume. Upshaw missed the first. The second rattles in. So he settles in and puts in the back into the pair. 1-0 Baldwin. So the Bearcats got to be scrappy in this one. And with the basketball, it's Jones. Right side of the catch, it's Spivey. Inside, working it to Stevens. Here's a drive, quick hands, nearly a steal.
Lenz is being very aggressive up top. Very
Attacking,
aggressive.
spinning, Jones, 3-ball, the big freshman air ball. Had the range, but just off to the left. Pushing it, the Bearcats. Attacking, driving. D. Gates lost his footing and threw it away. So both the teams, you can see them kind of the wheels turning and also physically taking some deep breaths, settling into this opening game for them in this tournament. And they hope it's not a one and done. Here is Spivey spinning into the front court. Bulldogs down a point early. Right side, 3-ball on the way. Long, no good. High rebound. Pulled in by Romero Crump, just a freshman. This Baldwin team's got freshman, an 8th grader in the lineup. Here is Burris off to the left wing. A long 3, no good that time. And here come the Bulldogs. Tevin Lindsay on the miss. Off a ball screen with the dribble. Here's Bender into the left corner. Dribble drive. Pull up jumper good. The lefty, the southpaw. Spivey puts it in.
Nice move by Spivey.
Spivey has his first 2. Here's a drive. Getting loose in the lane. Elevating and finishing. D. Gates. First field goal for Baldwin.
That was basically uncontested once he got in the lane. The big guy didn't even get a hand up.
Baldwin so far has not been fazed by that obvious size advantage. Giving up inches at almost every position. The lob inside. A little inside out. Left wing. The catch. Now Jones. Jones puts it on the floor. Gets inside. Ran over defender and a block call. Bang, bang play. Very close. Could have gone either way. Foul will be on Ian Burris, the senior. The elder statesman on the floor with a freshman, an 8th grader, and 2 juniors. So this team
has a lot to work to build towards the future.
You're right. They're going to be here for a while.
That has to be exciting as a coach to know that.
Stevens. Now Spivey. Spivey between the circles. Right side on the face-up. Here's Bender. Bender looking for the post to get open. Nothing there. Stevens up top. Jones off a ball screen. Pick and roll, and a charge taken that time by the little guy. How about Mason Pinson? And Stevens picks up his first personal. Three to 2. That was actually Duke Upshaw that took that charge. I misspoke. And as a drive here by Baldwin, 2 free throws coming on the hold. Foul on Brandon Jones, his first. That's already the 3rd on Bay Springs.
Baldwin's really come out and done a good job of attacking the basket early. They're challenging the big guys inside.
Free throw is up and good by D. Gates. Yeah, D. Gates, you can just tell when you watch D play, there's no fear there. And you can't. If you're undersized, you got to play with a ton of heart and just have reckless abandon. You can't care about your body whatsoever.
Right, he's tough. You can see the look on his face. He came ready to play.
5-2 lead early on for Baldwin. And, you know, sometimes the bigger guys want to be guards. And maybe not, they can't help they're big, but they might not like contact. When you're a little guy, if you're going to play at all, you've got to be tough. Here's a 3 out of the corner. Long, no good. Rebound kept alive momentarily, but out of bounds last touch by Spivey.
Baldwin's doing a good job of keeping Bay Springs off the boards. They're only giving them one shot.
And there's a hand check called on Brandon Jones. That's going to be his second, team fourth, and he knows he's coming out.
At this pace, Baldwin will be in a 1-and-1 pretty soon.
Wholesale substitutions now for the Bulldogs. Cache Henry is in. Demetrius Lang is checked into the ball game. Also to the ball game is Donovan Payton, and also checked in as Jordan Bolden. Fresh faces abound. Also, Sharon Washington is checked in. So 5 new players into the ball game. Bay Springs needs a spark. Only 2 points in nearly 4 minutes. Gates going up, partially blocked on the shot attempt. Here come the Bulldogs running. Henry has it, far sidelines. At the bubble, pass tapped away. Bodies diving on the floor. And that time was a Donovan Payton sandwich in the backcourt. The Bulldogs senior guard ended up sandwiched between a couple of Bearcats.
Right, I hate to see officials make that call when the people are diving on the floor for loose balls. I know sometimes you have to, but I think that you can let that go.
D. Gates whistled for his first. Stephanie, good eye. I'd completely missed the whistle. It was something I wasn't even thinking about. 5-2 on a bounce right side. I'm with you. Let them play. But this one obviously going to be called a little tighter.
Right.
Here's the 3. Henry left it long off the iron and pushing it. Are the Bearcats in a hurry? Pull-up jumper from 12 feet in rhythm. Ian Burris.
Very nice pull-up jump shot.
7-2. Baldwin up by 5 now. Henry has his pass deflected. A steal. Off and running Lindsay. Lindsay elevates. The layup would not go. Henry battling for the loose ball. They tie up and crash under the table. And you can see that on the screen. You can see that they're having to go fix the table on the far side of the floor. You talk about physical. Not the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog, or maybe on this day it's the amount of fight in the cat. And by cat, I mean Bearcats.
Ball was very aggressive.
Long pass ahead to Henry. Henry on a bounce, bobbling the catch and traveling. Wipe away the layup was Jordan Bolden.
Got to be ready for that one, finish that layup.
Nerves right now for the Bulldogs as they still try to settle in. Gates pushes right wing. Catch into the right corner. Here's Upshaw. Upshaw on a bounce back to Gates. Around the horn. Burris. Back to Lindsay. Here's Gates, the 3 off the back rim. Long bounce tracked down by Bolden. You know, Bolden's anxious to make up for the miss. Here's a 3 in rhythm. Badly missed.
Yeah, he probably should have taken that shot. I think they need to slow down a little bit more.
We're going to see the starters come back in. Here's Gates off a ball screen. The pick and roll, now the spin, the shot with contact, and the foul on Sharon Washington. His first, team 5th. Still, as you can see, 2:50 to go first quarter. At the line is Lindsay, a junior. Free throw is up and good. Good release. Second attempt coming up here in just a moment. Starters coming back on the floor with Brandon Jones, Bender, Clayton, Spivey, and Stevens.
I think the coach is probably trying to send the starters a message, try to put some fire on them a little bit. Right now, Baldwin came out, and they're clearly the more aggressive team.
8-2, Baldwin by 6. Lob inside, the catch by Clayton, back to the baskets. Spins baseline, and is fouled on the floor. Big time mismatch. Not much that Upshaw could do.
Right, great possession also. That's what Bay Springs going to have to do. They got to take advantage of their height advantage.
We can see Upshaw play. He does not look like an 8th grader, does he?
No, he does not.
Here's the pass, or rather off the deflection. And there's Spivey, the stick back. Here's the drive. and a whistle and a foul, and this is going to be on Brandon Jones. That's his third personal foul. Surprised to see him back in, and then even more surprised to see him pick up his third personal foul. And his head coach, Corey Mackey, giving him the evil eye as he comes over the sidelines. You know, he told him, when I put you back in, do not pick up your third personal foul.
Most of the time they do pick up the third, especially if it's that early. It's hard to trust the kid not to get that third foul.
Top of the circle, back out to Gates. Now we won't see him probably till the third quarter. 8-4 lead for Baldwin. Spivey's got both buckets for Bay Springs. Under 2 minutes we go. Burris looking inside, trying to make that extra pass to Upshaw off a deflection. Shot inside, blocked away. The big guy, Devontae Gates, had it blocked. And a foul called on the Bearcats on the loose ball. Upshaw picks up his second. And so if a freshman is an underclassman, a sophomore is an underclassman, what's an eighth grader? An underclassman?
Definitely. He's impressive, though, to be that young.
Very much so, but unfortunate to see him out of the ball game. He's got a ton of energy. He has been providing the spark. 8-4. Baldwin by a couple of buckets as we see Bender run the show. Right wing. Top of the bubble on the catch by Spivey. Dump down low, Clayton. Kick out Spivey, the shot fake, and a travel called. Steps called on Spivey.
Baldwin is doing a good job of collapsing down on the big men once they catch the ball inside the post. They're making it hard for him to get an easy layup.
Minute 25 to go here in this first quarter. Baldwin going to slow things down a little bit. Here's Gates near the center circle. Bulldogs switching up their defenses. And right now we'll see Lindsey off that ball screen go back out to Gates. Baldwin is just trying to size up the Bulldogs, and a 5 seconds call. Cache Henry right on his hip the entire time. Turns it over. Now Coach Jason McKay of Baldwin wants an explanation. Here comes Bender in the front court, picked up by Gates. Bender left corner on a bounce inside. Catch by Clayton. Clayton going to work, and steps called again. Boy, the whistles are fast and furious here.
Right. It's hard to get into a flow of the game because there's so many calls made every possession.
Well, they're going to call it tight at this level to a certain degree. We've seen tighter games called in the boys contest than the girls contest so far. With the dribble drive, here's Lindsey. Had his pass nearly taken away. Gates back to Lindsey. 3 ball out of the corner. Bullseye.
Big shot.
Beautiful rotation on that shot by Lindsey. His first field goal. It's an 11-4 lead for Baldwin, and a kick ball. It'll stay with Bay Springs. 21.1 seconds remain first quarter. Bulldogs need a bucket right here just for their confidence.
Right.
Doesn't
they haven't
matter.
been able to get anything going this first quarter.
Right. Doesn't matter if they're down 7 or down 5 at the end of the first quarter, but they just need it. Here's the drive by Bender. The leaner.
Nice runner.
Tough shot. Good.
They needed that one.
11-6. 5 down to 4. 3 and a bump. It's out of bounds though. No whistle for a foul. Off of Lindsey's fingertips. It'll be Spivey to trigger it in with 2.6. Bender, 2, 1, and there's a whistle with 0.3. Did he get away with it, or did they end up calling it?
They called it.
Okay, called it late. 0.3. Now this is time for only a tip. Our clock shows double zeros. There's 0.3 seconds left on the scoreboard here in the arena. Yeah, time for a tip. He gets a shot off, and they might have let it count had it gone. And that's the end of the first quarter. It is Baldwin 11, Bay Springs 6. As we will keep it right here. As we have a moment to go back and look at that first quarter Stephanie, just a first quarter where I don't think either team felt good about their flow. A lot of whistles. Bearcats by 5, but the Bearcats, I don't think they know that they give up 3 or 4 inches at every position.
Right. They're getting the ball inside, but the big men are not making their moves quick enough, and Baldwin is doubling down every time they catch the ball. I had to get their hats off the ball, and they're not backing down because they're undersized. They brought the energy, and they're probably twice as aggressive as Bay Springs is right now.
Fans, don't forget you can buy a DVD of this game. You can go to www.MHSAA.tv. Purchase those DVDs. Cherish this keepsake for a lifetime. Well, there's going to be some memories made again here, and you're going to want to make sure that you can have that in that collection at home. And when you look at these numbers in that first half, I think the shooting percentages tell the story. Bay Springs, 3 of 11, 27%. Baldwin, 3 of 8, 38%. And again, it's just been a lot of shots put up, but not a lot of shots have gone down.
Shooting the ball well right now.
And so in the backcourt, it will be Burris. And Burris going to work on Bender. Burris going to pull it out, go left corner to Upshaw. Upshaw now back over to Gates. Gates going to drive. The leaner. That one would not go. And the rebound, though, tracked down by Baldwin off the hard Karam. Stick back attempt wouldn't fall. There's the big guy making his presence known.
He doesn't need to bring the ball down. Those guards are going to take it from him.
That's right. Little freshman mistake there. Doesn't look like a freshman at 6'6". As it goes out of bounds. Speaking of 6'6", you know, a lot of people wondering, where are these kids getting this big these days?
I don't know. I wish I had one.
Freshmen.
A 6'6" freshman is pretty impressive.
Here is Bender. Left side to Spivey. Spivey backs it out. Now to Bender. He'll fire a deep 3. Kaboom! The 3 from the right wing. That's exactly what they needed in the nick of time for the Bulldogs.
And they can get a stop here. They'll start feeling pretty good.
5 points now for Bender, and a travel called. Steps called. 2-point game, a chance to tie or take the lead. And as well as Baldwin played in stretches of that first quarter, just the 2-point lead here in the early going.
Right, Upshot needs to settle down a little bit on the offensive end.
Here's Spivey pushing it down the center of the floor, right to Clayton, who got a dunk, wipe off the basket perhaps, and a charge is called. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Spivey needs to jump stop. If he doesn't jump stop and keeps running to the defender, it's going to be a charge every time. But that was a great pass, great look.
Goes back to fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. That's why the great coaches work on those skill development all throughout the season, all throughout the offseason. Here's a pass inside Upshaw. The little guy goes up, missed it, got his own rebound, stuck it up, and put it in. Now Upshaw, an 8th grader, 6'6", going up against the freshman at 6'6". Just by physics alone, that's not supposed to happen.
Right. Upshaw is tough, though. He hadn't, from the beginning, he's not backing down at all.
This kid's impressive.
And Spivey's only a freshman. He's 6'2". He's very impressive.
A lot of youth being
talent.
served. That means if you like the lineup this year at the Coliseum, you're going to love it for the next 2, 3, 4 years, because there's not going to be a lot of changeover, I don't think. Yes, there are upsets, but these are some teams that are going to be the cream of the crop, I think, for years to come. Here's the drive. That runner again would not go, and another good rebound by the Bearcats, this time by Romaro Crump. Here is a little head fake.
Got a little carry in there.
And Gates turns it over. They're starting to call that more and more, and I, for one, enjoy it. The And One mixtapes probably did more to set back basketball. They were enjoyable to watch.
I agree.
But the young players enjoyed them too much.
Yeah, it's not very fundamental basketball, but it's fun to watch.
Here's the pass inside. Tough turnaround shot in traffic. Sharon Washington, the junior, puts it in. Back to a 3-point game, 14-11 Baldwin. And Gates, he wastes no time setting things up. Upshaw in the corner. He'll back off Washington, drive the baseline, flip it up. Might have gotten the continuation had that bucket gone down.
Upshaw's been pretty aggressive going to the basket. He has a great body to be so young. He's pretty physical.
That was a 19 foul on Bay Springs. There's still 5:58 to go first half. good thing is we've already seen from the Bulldogs is that they can pull out their starting five, put in a whole second five. Thing about it is they're going to need to do that. As we see subs into the ball game. Checking back in is Gates. Devontae Gates. There's a miss on the front end of the 1-and-1 by Upshaw. And here come the Bulldogs down by just 3. Up top, here's Spivey. Slips it on a bounce. Washington into the corner. 3 ball by Henry, no good. Clayton got the offensive rebound. Went up high, missed it.
Missed the chippy.
He
got to make that
almost flipped it in underhand. He was so high up. Instead, was a little dainty with it, missed it. There's another miss, but sticking with it and putting it in is Devontae Gates. And timeout on the floor. Baldwin going to call a 30-second timeout. So Coach Jason McKay wanted to take an opportunity to coach him up right here. Gives us an opportunity to continue to set the stage for what we're going to see here over the next 2.5 quarters. We'll pause for 30 seconds, though, and come back in 30 seconds.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.TV/SBP.
16-11, Baldwin a 5-point lead. With the basketball driving from the bubble and floating it in with
nice
the right
floater.
hand is Jordan Bolden.
He found himself wide open. May as well go to the basket.
It's something these smaller players can put into the repertoire. When you get the height of Bolden, it really works in your advantage. Here's another scrappy offensive rebound off a miss by Upshaw, and this time he'll go to the line for 2. Grabbed on his way to shoot that basketball. The foul will be on Donovan Payton. Payton picks up his first. That's
It's
the
really
10th.
hard to believe that Upshaw is only an 8th grader.
You're not wanting to pull birth certificate, are you?
I think you need to. He has facial hair and everything.
I tell you, you look at him and maybe a freshman. It's a good-looking kid, though. You talk about ready to play when he gets to the next level.
Right.
Good grief. Upshaw, that free throw make.
Maybe that's a misprint. We may need to check
17-13.
that.
Maybe they meant to put his age and just missed a 1. Left a 1 out.
I think so.
No, he doesn't look 18, but
That can't. He doesn't look like an 8th grader either.
as we see the Bulldogs going back to the line after that foul, the foul will be on Devontae Gates. Gates picks up his first. But, you know, again, these kids are just younger and younger. They're chiseled, they're strong, they're also confident. They've played for so many years. They've got so much experience under their belt. They don't carry themselves like a young kid. They don't look like a kid. They've got the whole package these days.
Right, he looks like he got started playing at a very early age.
Pick up basketball on an outdoor court somewhere on some asphalt, probably, maybe even a dirt court.
Right.
Those still do exist. But I tell you, we've gotten spoiled. I mean, you can buy the line kits now. You can, get the Quickcrete and paint, lay something in your backyard. You can get the glass backboards as Baldwin's going to be going back to the line to shoot more free
I
throws.
still think that's the best way to learn how to play is just old school 3-on-3, 2-on-2 on dirt courts. It's the best thing ever.
Are you giving us a little bit of your backstory from your early playing days?
That's what we did all the time. I had so much fun just playing with boys and my brothers, just going to somebody's yard that stuck up a goal and just started playing every day.
As Gates misses the first, we had a park that was literally about, probably a quarter mile away from my house, and every day I'd be pounding the pavement, heading to the court, and you could always find somebody to get that pickup game going. And it definitely makes you better.
Right. It's a lost art right now. I don't think kids play enough as they used to sports, just playing outside. Not enough.
Well, why would you want to go out and play in 100-degree heat in the summer where you can pick up your PlayStation 360 and have virtual reality? You could be LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
Right. The technology has kind of hurt, I think, the overall knowledge of the game, and probably more kids getting involved a little bit more.
a stretch of basketball here, Stephanie, where these two teams are just kind of getting into hacking each other, and it's just been repetitive trips to the free throw line, as now we see going back to the line Sharon Washington, but it's going to be a parade of free throws here over the last 4:40, a front end of a 1-and-1 miss, and here comes Gates spinning away from pressure.
Right, it's kind of hard to get into the flow of the game because so many fouls are being called, and there's another one right on cue.
Henry wanting to try to take a charge. I don't know. That was a pretty dramatic effort. I don't think he's ever going to get that call. He's quick enough that he almost sold it. Upshaw back to the line, and again, Upshaw shooting free throws. Upshaw shooting free throws.
He's been aggressive.
He must have got a hold of the game plan of how to win a championship caliber basketball game. You've got to get to the rim, get the other team in foul trouble, and get these easy opportunities.
And right now, that's what they're doing because they're not scoring a whole lot in the half-court offense. It's offensive rebounds and free throws.
A couple of more free throws for Upshaw, the 8th grader. And if you're just logging on, we've been talking about it. We can't believe he's only an 8th grader because he plays like a veteran. As we see Upshaw coming out to get a breather. Parrish Huddleston back out. We see Devontae Gates in. Here is with the basketball in the backcourt. Henry trying to get it to Clayton, short corner along the baseline, driving, leaning, shot up, and a blocking foul called. Spivey going to the line.
That could have easily been a charge, but it could have gone either way.
Wasn't the first, won't be the last bang bang charge slash block call that we'll see.
Spivey's a good young talent, only being a freshman.
Using that left hand, and I want to say it's a left hand. He's kind of a hybrid shooter.
Right.
Kind of uses both hands.
Probably more left than right.
It is, but that right hand kind of is right there along for the ride.
Yeah, he needs to work on that.
Have to get that right hand over to the side of that basketball. 20-16. 4:17 to go here in the first half. Into the corner, deep three, perfect. Tevin Lindsay knocks in a triple, his second of the ball game. Now a 7-point lead for Baldwin. Clayton, give and go. Spivey gets it back, puts it up, wouldn't fall, but he's going to the line. Stephanie, did you grab dinner in between games?
No,
because
actually,
we might need a snack before this one's done.
Right, this is going to take a while. Good thing I ate lunch before I came.
Here's the free throw. This one goes down.
Yeah, this game's going to take up a little time.
It is. Second free throw coming up here in just a moment. 23-17. A 6-point game. Bulldogs have yet to find their rhythm. Baldwin finds themselves outsized but not outmatched as Spivey makes a couple of free throws, and the Bulldogs going to get back defensively to set up. Well, we know Upshaw's been the big difference maker on the offensive glass and getting to the rim. It's been Lindsay with the 3 ball, but
looks like
really
Springs is in a little zone throughout a little 1-2-2 maybe.
When you look at Baldwin, though, the heart factor is something we just couldn't have anticipated when you were watching warm-ups.
Right. Heart can make a big difference in the game. It's not always the biggest team or the best team that wins, but the team that wants it the most. And Baldwin looks like they came to play like they really want to advance to the championship game.
And the Bulldogs, they're still trying to figure out Baldwin. They haven't really sized them up yet. You're just waiting for the Bulldogs to make their run, and we'll see if Baldwin can withstand it. Here's the drive. Baldwin taking it to the hoop. Nice drive by D. Gates. And Gates going to the line. Foul going to be on Spivey.
Spivey actually kind of bailed him out on that one. He had to take a tough shot, shooting over 2 people. Kind of bailed him out on that one, gave him 2 easy shots at the line.
Again, you got to pass on that glamour play, being the block, to just make this solid play, whether it's keeping your feet and walling up or just going airborne but not swatting down. Hands up. Gates has been good from the free throw line. Let's see if it continues. This one rattles in. 25-18. As we crawl up on the 3-minute mark to go in the first half. And at the center circle It's Jones to Spivey, elevates and leaves it short with the right hand. He can shoot left or right. He is not phased. Here's a drive. Gates to the rim, puts it up and one. Beautiful drive, big time collision, and he'll pop up with some energy.
He got to the basket in a hurry. He had a quick first step on that. Once he made that move, he exploded to the rim.
Well, as you can see with Gates and Upshaw, Stephanie, what they lack for in height, they make up for in muscle. They are well put together.
Right, they bring it in toughness. They're two really tough guards.
They remind me of an Isaiah Cannon who played at Biloxi.
Yes.
Right now the star for Murray State, and Cannon getting all kinds of love on ESPN the last few weeks as how he is carrying that Racer basketball team. Here's a three-ball left wing, much needed by Eric Bender. Got an open look and he buried it.
I think that may be the first jump shot all night.
28-21. The lead had ballooned to 10. It's trimmed back to 7. So that double-digit lead was only momentary. Here's the drive. Flipped back along the wing to Crump.
Looks like Baldwin's going to spread them out a little bit and try to attack the basket.
And again, with the foul situation being the way it is, Bulldogs can't be overly aggressive. Tough shot. Hand in his face. Double pumping. Actually was on his way down when he pushed it up and in. Three ball again. Bender wanted his, that was the heat check meter, and he wasn't as hot as he thought he was.
You have to make at least 2 or 3 before you get a heat check.
He was already, you could tell, he was already checking it just to see. 30-21.
Baldwin's going to be patient. They're going to spread out again and probably let D. Gates go one-on-one.
And I believe that if Coach doesn't say it, he'll at least get a post-it note at halftime that, hey, you need to slow down.
A little bit.
Easy killer. 30-21. 80 seconds to go first half. There's a deflection. Big collision. No whistle. Loose ball. Baldwin going to come diving into us here at the scorer's table. And we nearly had a couple in our laps there.
Good hustle. It's great effort by both teams.
That's just the second time that's happened in this game with players rolling up under the tables.
Hopefully we'll get one more before the half is over.
At least. Down to 65 seconds to go. Bay Springs needs a couple of buckets. Three ball straight away. Flat, no good. Rebound Clayton out to Bender. Set his feet this time. Bring it up. Are you sure it's too early for that heat check meter?
I think he may be heating up. He's warming up a little bit.
30-24. Here comes Gates, right wing, down the lane. Feeds it off inside. The catch and using his body well
Good finish.
was Devontae Gates. Here's a long outlet looking for Clayton. Gates got all the way back, hustled down the floor, got the basketball, and then his coach, honoring that hustle play, calls a timeout.
Clayton was running down the floor, but he wasn't looking for the ball. He was actually wide open.
32-24, 36.9 seconds left. So we've seen Bay Springs show some life, but Baldwin has been right there to push back.
They answer him every single time. It's just impressive. I love watching teams that play with that kind of passion. It's just fun to watch, and Baldwin is just a fun team to watch because they play so hard.
You know, when you look at the men's game or the ladies' game, when you have a team that on the ladies' side, shifting gears to the ladies' side, I get to cover ladies' basketball a lot. And when you have a team as our coach down in Hattiesburg, Joy Lee McNella, she says, got a little dog in them, a little fight in them, like a UTEP, like a Memphis in our league. Boy, then you find out what the other teams are made of. A lot of the other teams don't want any of that physical play. If you can get out and scrap, it takes you a long way.
It really does.
And that's not only the girls' side, that's the boys as well.
Well, it makes a difference.
A physical team. Think about the old Chicago Bulls teams, the old Laker teams, Celtics, Spurs. That good defensive team makes it happen. 32-24, 19 seconds remaining in this first half. Baldwin just might hold for this final shot.
Last shot. Got a little set play going, maybe a little delay game.
Here's a hesitation dribble, the drive, pull-up jumper.
Probably
no good. Offensive rebound. Upshaw spinning, stripped, lost it, and there's a whistle. And will they call a jump ball? They're going to call a travel. Well, the official from behind the play was the one that made the signal for the steps.
Probably should have been a no call. This probably should just let him play it on out.
32-24. 1.9 seconds left. They'll bring in Baldwin Huddleston for defense. The Bulldogs of Bay Springs have enough time for a catch, one dribble, and a quick shot. Long lob, Clayton the catch, the dribble, the spin, fade away, good, as time expires.
Unbelievable
That's how
play.
you draw it up.
That's a Sports Center highlight. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. The catch, the spin, and the fade. We will step aside for a brief break as you check out this halftime score. Baldwin 32, Bulldogs 27. Back in a moment.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff. Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.TV/SBP.
Baldwin 32, Bay Springs 27. Baldwin shooting 45% in that first half. Bay Springs 39%. We'll look at all the stats right before the start of the third quarter. But Stephanie, quick recap. Baldwin really came out, was the aggressor, but then Bay Springs, the great equalizer, the three ball. We saw it with the buzzer beater especially, and then a couple of three balls by Bender, and the Bulldogs right in this basketball game.
Right, I think that three is going to help them definitely going into halftime. They should come out with a little bit more momentum. And Clayton was the one that made that three. I think the coach is probably expecting a little bit more from him. Maybe that three will get him going. I think he can step up more and do a little bit more for his team right now.
All right, she's Stephanie Murphy. I'm Josh West. We'll step aside for our halftime break. Back with the stats in about 5 minutes and a reset of the lineups at the start of the third quarter. Again, Baldwin 32, Bay Springs 27 here from the Mississippi Coliseum. Baldwin 32, Bay Springs 27. Winner gets SV Marshall on Thursday afternoon, March 1st at 2:30, and they'll be fighting for a 2A boys state championship back here at the Mississippi Coliseum. Josh West alongside Stephanie Murphy as we take a look at our first half stats as we're about ready to get started here in this third quarter. In the first half stats, pretty even. You see made field goals, both teams with 9 made, and then Bay Springs able to knock down a few threes. Bay Springs, something you won't see, 4 for 12 though from beyond the arc, but the assists pretty close. Free throw numbers, that's something that always grabs my attention. 12 makes for Baldwin, only 7 attempts for Bay Springs. That'll have to change in the second half. And Baldwin, despite the size disadvantage, 17-12 advantage on the boards. Each team only 6 turnovers. Stephanie, what do you think the keys are in terms of if this team does this well, that team's going to win? What do you think it is?
I think if Baldwin continues to go to the basket at the pace they are and stay on the offensive rebounds, I think they're going to end up winning the game because they're going to get more possessions to score.
I agree 100%. And as we start, the team that trails by 5, that's coming out of the locker room after the buzzer beater. Here's the drive. The flip inside looking for Clayton. Batted away. The big guy, the 6'6 freshman, gets it back. Here's the drive by Henry. Gets to the rim and floats it in with the right hand. Check that, Brandon Jones, the bucket. And so it's now a 3-point game, 32-29, just 30 seconds in. Much better start to this half for Bay Springs.
Right.
Here's the pass, Upshaw. Trying to bounce it across the lane. Got a little greedy that time. Somehow coming out of there with it was Crump. Crump then loses the basketball. Clayton gets a steal, gets through. I don't know how he got all through those defenders. Flips it up with the left hand and a blocking foul called. Now, the floor recognition was on, that was on Burris. And I guess Burris didn't get the memo that he was standing under the rim.
Right.
You're not going to ever get a charge call under the rim. So Burris picks
Clayton
up the
pretty
foul.
aggressive going to the basket. I don't know about him getting the ball off the rim but just dribbling all the way down the length of the floor, but at least he got to the basket.
It wasn't pretty, but it counts, and it's a 2-point game. That was pretty. A perfect made free throw by DeMarcus Clayton. Bay Springs now 6 of 8 from the free throw line. The second free throw short, no good, and the rebound by Gates. Gates the basketball in a hurry. Right wing pushing to the rim, get double teamed, and then Stevens took out his own teammate, had to help him up.
When they're rotating over, they just need to stay on the floor. They're just getting off their feet a little bit too much and prematurely.
How much do you think that's attributed to? Of the blocks make these small, rural Mississippi high school gyms go crazy. A charge doesn't.
Right.
Think that has something to do with it too?
No doubt about it. It's just a discipline. Just want to make the simple basketball play.
Clayton goes right to the bucket, came down on a defender, but before that, a charge taken
And
by
that's the second,
Baldwin.
that's the second one on Baldwin. They're going to have to really get in there and jump stop. As long as they leave their feet, their body's just going to float right into their defender. The ref's going to foul every time.
Stephanie, they're making you out to be very prophetic this afternoon. We were making the 1 point on the other end, and it came true on the other end as well.
Right.
32-30, 6:35 to go third quarter. But Bay Springs down by as many as 10, right back into this basketball game.
Bay Springs is showing a little bit of a 2-3 zone right now.
And nearly a swipe of Burris. Here's the drive. It's Lindsay. Lindsay, left corner, lobs it out back to Burris, and Burris will set up the play. Again, no shot clock in Mississippi High School basketball. In the corner, Lindsay, back to Burris. Top of the bubble, passed on a deep three. Here's Gates, deep right wing, around the horn. Good defense in this zone. Very active feet. Drive, Gates, behind the back, got too cute. Steal by Clayton, long outlet, flying to the rim. Bender, and a charge. That time, a nasty collision. And slow, painstakingly slow to get up is Burris. Bender picks up his second. That's already the third foul on Bay Springs.
I don't know about that call. I'm not sure. He's trying to avoid the charge, and Piston is kind of underneath him. He almost went over him. It's kind of hard to tell at that angle.
It was just so quick. Bender left his feet so far from the bucket. Yeah, Bender kind of tried too hard. Bender could have taken another crossover dribble and gotten to the rim.
Probably avoided the contact all the way around.
Exactly. So it's just tough. These officials are earning their money. There's no question. We know they're not getting paid per time they blow the whistle, but if they were, they'd be rich.
Yeah, they'd be rich right now at this game.
32-30, 5:40 to go third quarter. They are doing a very good job, though. Officiating has been fantastic. Here's the spin, Upshaw, the flip. Pretty impressive considering I don't know how much he looked at the rim when he did that.
Right. Just kind of found it at the last minute.
And Upshaw continues to impress the eighth grader. We're hoping that's a typo, because if he's an eighth grader, he is going to be scary good as a senior. Here's the drive, a deflection, nearly a Baldwin steal.
I still want to see his records after the game.
Here's a three, right wing air ball, forced that time by Demetrius Lang. Here comes Baldwin. Baldwin has dominated the boards. They continue to do so. 4-point lead, no look pass, kick out Burris. Burris from the left wing. Gates looked at the three, passes on it. Bay Springs has settled into this zone, though. Here's a pass inside. Upshaw muscles it up and in with a head fake.
He's caught in the travel.
Oh, my goodness.
He shuffled his feet before he got it up.
Oh, my goodness. So that bails out the 6'6 freshman who had just gotten beaten for the second time in the game against the much shorter Upshaw. That head fake has gotten Stevens off his feet all game long.
He just needs to keep his feet still.
But again, he's a freshman. He wants that big block. He wants to play to the crowd. It's that natural instinct, and you have to fight against that. Goes back to the discipline you were talking about, Stephanie. Here's a deep three,
I don't know about
air
that.
ball.
I think they can get something better on their offense and get that long three.
Clayton, an air ball. 30-second timeout, Bay Springs, and this is a very good timeout. Only a 4-possession game. Some people might say, hey, why burn a timeout? But as you touched on, something that was needed. We'll jump to break. We'll be back in a short moment.
You can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.tv/SBP.
4:27 to go here in this third quarter. 34-30. Baldwin by 4. It was Baldwin by 5 at the break. These two teams shooting the basketball a little bit better. The energy and enthusiasm is still there. Josh West alongside Stephanie Murphy. Stephanie, Baldwin got to continue to do what they've done the entire game and be aggressive, get to the rim.
Right. I see Bay Springs is back in man-to-man. I actually like them better in the zone. I think it's at least slows Baldwin down a little bit.
And Upshaw got
That's
right
too
to
easy.
the
They're
rim.
getting a lot of those wide open shots in that man-to-man.
Upshaw missed three, left it short. Had a good look, and he patted himself on the chest as he headed back down the floor. He admitted he couldn't resist that open look, but probably shouldn't have taken that shot. Here's Stevens to the right side, curling off some screens. It's Lang. Back on the drive, the pull-up shot. Bender misses. And a whistle and a loose ball foul going to be called.
Baldwin's doing a great job of contesting the shots. Even when Bay Springs gets in the lane, they're doing a good job of closing out and getting a hand up on those shots, and they're not getting easy looks.
Bender's third personal foul, fourth team foul on Bay Springs. Baseline drive, Burris double pumped it and had it blocked anyway. Here come the Bulldogs. Ahead right side, Lang in the corner. Trying to dump it down low. Clayton spins, gets loose. Check that was Stevens. It was a massive humanity on the baseline, and Stevens going to go to the line and shoot a couple free throws.
Bay Springs needs to do more there. They kind of got a little bit of a secondary break and got the ball inside a little faster today to make a quick move before the defense had a chance to get set to double down on them.
Free throw is up, and it goes down. So Stevens has, I believe, his first point. It is shocking. 1 point and right at about 4 or 5 rebounds. 34-31. High Karam, nearly a great offensive rebound, but losing it was Washington, and here comes Lindsay. And now D. Gates will slow it down. Here's Burris. Trying to curl off a screen, couldn't get loose, pass inside. Spinning in traffic, going up and drawing the foul is Upshaw. Upshaw back to the line. His ability to get off the floor with his back to the basket, he's got such an array of moves to still be able to get his shot off.
All right, Upshaw, he's pretty explosive. Like they playing him a little bit everywhere. Looks like they have him playing a little bit more at the 4 position, but he only looks to be about 5'10", 5'11". He's just really exploding off the floor. He may not be that tall.
Second free throw coming up here in a moment. 34-31. This one is up and good as well. 35-31. Ray Springs in the front court, and they turn it over. Lindsay a steal. 2-on-2. Lindsay to the rack and
Nice finish in the lane.
finishes.
Nice finish on the control.
2 more for Lindsay. Approaching double figures. 37-31. Back to a 6-point Bearcat lead. Bounce pass inside. Turnaround jumper. Washington no good. Following strong. That time was Baldwin, but Baldwin again controlling the boards. Baldwin's got the game plan figured out, but can they limit the Bulldog threes late? If the Bulldogs are down and they get hot shooting the 3, it might not matter.
I don't know if they can get hot. Like I said, they're doing a pretty good job on defense as far as contesting.
Crazier things have happened. As you said, not always the best team. Here's a steal by Gates.
He's going to the
Gates
basket.
Right up,
He
stripped
may have gotten
away.
fouled on that one.
Great hands by Spivey. That was close. Spivey now fouled. Almost a frustration foul that time by Mason Pinson, the junior.
That may have actually been a smart play. Probably stopped the transition basket. It's only the 3rd foul.
Could have been a transition dunk that would have gotten the Bay Springs crowd really into this game. They've been quiet.
The Bay Springs is still trying. They're hanging around, but they just can't get over the hump. So like if they can get that one play to get them over the hump, they may be fine the rest of the way.
To inbound is Bender to Washington. Washington out to Spivey. Give and go wasn't there. Good defense by Devontae Gates. Right corner.
Spivey really needs to step up here and make a play. Good pass.
Nice no look, and a whistle though, and
feet.
steps called. That's been probably the most common call so far on day one. Is players just not being crisp in the paint with their footwork.
I think that's Baldwin's second time he's caught the ball. I think he caught one in the first quarter. He wasn't ready for him to shuffle his feet. This time you just got to have it. Can't afford to make that turnover.
DeMarcus Clayton checks back in, 37-31. Minute 27 and ticking, third quarter. Gates spinning,
Nice
baseline.
hesitation, good pass.
A nice block, a clean block up high. I don't think they're going to call this one on Clayton.
They are. Look like all ball to me.
That's what I'm saying.
To get inside, you got to let them play a little bit. Inside, I think they're making a little bit too many calls inside, I think, right now. Not letting them play enough.
That's 6 fouls in this half on Bay Springs. So for the final minute 19 seconds of the third and for the entire fourth, we're going to see Baldwin shoot a lot of free throws.
Right, and Clayton's in foul trouble. That was his third foul.
First goes down, second is missed, but a 7-point lead for Baldwin. Spivey now going to wake up the Bulldogs. Attacking, nice pass inside.
Good
Washington
block.
had it blocked. Clayton there to try to follow, but then had it taken
trouble.
away. And then Devontae Gates shuffles his feet. That is not on Gates. That's actually a turnover on Mason Pinson. Pinson's got to realize to give it to your post player who didn't realize he was going to get it is just not a good pass.
Right, and D. Gates made a major block on that one. Major block. I love that guy. He's playing so hard.
Pass inside Clayton, spins to the rack and banks it home.
Clayton needs to get going inside. Those big men need to step up for Baldwin. It's hard for Bay Springs.
Clayton only has a handful of points in this basketball game. 38-33 now. 2-possession game, and it might be at least a 5-point game heading to the fourth quarter if Baldwin holds for the final shot.
Got the ball in the right man's hand. That's a foul. It's a lot of contact.
Henry rips
Got
it
to
away.
push in the back, too.
And then a push in the back. It was I need to get a foul call. I don't know what else to do, but I can't let him lay it in, but I don't want to hurt him. That's what Devontae
Right.
Gates did right there. If he'd have extended his arms, it would have been an intentional foul.
Right.
But he just showed the official, hey, I'm fouling this guy. Will you please call the whistle? Will you please blow the whistle, rather?
I think the players really don't understand what's going to be called. It's kind of being called a little inconsistent right now, to be honest. Some of the lesser contact is being let go, and that was obvious, a lot of contact. I think he was expecting the foul and didn't get anything called for him.
38-33, 25.2 seconds left. Here is the pass up top. Henry, shot fake, right corner Spivey. 16 seconds. Washington had a look, pass, drive. Henry, the
That's
floater,
a charge.
ran over the defender. Upshaw took another one. That's his second in the game that he's taken.
I think that's that's probably the fourth charge overall that Baldwin has taken. Those guards from Bay Springs are leaving their feet, and I think that's part of the scouting reporters to step in and take that charge. They're looking for it.
38-33, 8 seconds left. Can
Gates is
Baldwin
going to the basket.
get a buzzer beater? Pass, right corner, Lindsay, as time expires. Puts it in to give Baldwin a 7-point lead heading to the fourth quarter in this 2A boys semifinal. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh, that's good stuff. Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.TV/SBP.
He has a lot of guys on that bench.
That's good.
I like it.
Everybody a part of it. Don't forget, all MHSAA basketball finals can be seen live on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. And fans, also don't forget that you can get live DVD copies of this game by going to MHSAA.tv. And you can also see these archived copies on MISSHSAA.tv for the on-demand of these games. Also, Play On Sports, part of the YouTube network. YouTube is also a way you can get these games. So it's pretty neat the way they've incorporated all the different ways to really dive into this. 40-33. Just
YouTube will
underway,
definitely be
fourth quarter.
popular among the young kids going on and watching some games.
It's my favorite website.
I love it.
I studied till about 3 or 4 in the morning the other morning and had everything from, you'll listen to one as there's a foul called here. You'll listen to one video and then it'll suggest more. And if you'll just keep following their suggestions, you'll go from Kenny Chesney to Alan Jackson to it's a drive here, pass inside looking for Clayton and a steal, to Jimmy Buffett, to Frank Sinatra, and I just listened for about 3 hours of YouTube.
Great.
So it's pretty neat that these games can be found. The MHSAA network can be found on YouTube. So here is 7:10 remaining. Here's a pull-up jumper at the bubble. Boy, T. Gates.
He's having a great game. He's just having a great game all the way around. On the offensive end, defense, he's doing an unbelievable job tonight.
Oh, just 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Got a steal at the half
Pick
court.
your pocket, Lindsay, to
great
the rack
play.
and
one.
Oh, my goodness, that was pretty. Lindsay's now got 13. Gates has got 14. Upshaw's got 10. And now back to the free throw line.
Yeah, Baldwin is really playing in a great rhythm right now.
44-33.
If Bay Springs not careful, this thing may stretch out, could possibly get ugly towards the end of the stretch. They need to get a basket here.
44-33, and this would count as an upset. The undersized, scrappy Baldwin Bearcats against the South State champion Bay Springs Bulldogs. Here's the free throw, hangs on the rim and falls in. A dozen points now, 45-33.
Baldwin's just playing with a whole lot of confidence right now.
Lindsay inside looking for Clayton. Upshaw got over the top of the seal, poked it away.
Baldwin is a more aggressive team right now. They came out, they still have the same type of intensity that they started with.
As we said, not the height, but they're flexing their muscles.
Right.
Here's Burris. Back over to D. Gates. D, since the double team, unloads. Burris attacks, leans, hammered, back to the line. Burris, 2 more free throws coming up. You look at the free throw numbers. Difference of the ball game, this stat I'm fixing to give you. Baldwin, I've got them at 15 of 22 from the free throw line. Bay Springs 7 of 11. So they have made 4 than Bay Springs has attempted.
They're going to the rack. I mean, they're going to the rack with aggression every single time. And Burris did a great job of jump stopping and getting his body inside of Clayton's on that possession.
Burris doing his best right now as you see the zoom in close up there, just trying to catch his breath.
He's playing unbelievable right now. Pass off the ball, and they're really taking it at those big guys inside, and they got him in foul trouble. They'll be shooting free throws.
Second one goes down. Burris splits the pair. 46-33. 6:05 to go. Pass right to the key. Spinning, fading, tough shot, Bolden. And that's exactly what the Bulldogs needed. Jordan Bolden, just his second bucket, 4 points.
Bay Springs is coming with a little pressure right now.
Here's Lindsay, a 3 to answer, short.
Probably
Rebound.
didn't need that 3, but that's a good hustle play. Way to keep it going.
Baldwin kept it alive, and they'll be going back to the line. That was foul number 10 on Bay Springs. For the second half in a row, Baldwin is going to be shooting double bonus free throws, and again, it's going to be tough to come back.
Right, they put themselves in that position by being aggressive going to the basket. They're not settling for jump shots. You know, they're taking a jump shot when it's there, but their main thing is just trying to get to the basket. You
can say Bay Springs has been aggressive, but it's been a different kind of aggression. Baldwin's had the controlled aggression. Bay Springs, as we've touched on a handful of occasions, has left their feet out of control, trying to force something to happen and not let the game kind of come to them, so to speak.
They haven't been fluid all game. They just can't get anything going on a consistent basis. They're trying to go inside. Baldwin's making it hard to get the ball inside. So it's just been tough on Bay Springs getting in rhythm tonight.
After that made free throw, Bay Springs down a dozen. Here's Henry, the three to cut it to 9. No good. An offensive rebound, though, by the Bulldogs. Kick out for a three by the freshman. How about that?
Wasn't expecting that one.
Well, you knew when he shot it so quickly early, he probably had the range. That one, first one missed badly. This one is perfect. But you're right, I don't think anybody was.
And that's still not what they need going down the stretch, is to get the three from your big man.
Still 5 minutes and change left as D. Gates driving and fouled. And boy, that's a bad foul because it's a double bonus. It was a desperation foul, as if there were only 5 seconds left instead of 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
Right, that's how they've kind of been playing as far as the foul situation. They're playing like the game is, you know, like in a panic situation where you have to foul to get the ball back and you still have 5 minutes to go. They can just run a regular half-court defense or maybe a half-court trap to try to get the ball back.
It has not been a good day so far for the South.
Not at all.
Bassfield goes down. We saw William Sullivan go down. And then we also have seen in the earlier games here, Taylorsville go down. Bay Springs down by 10 with 4:59 left. And very fortunate that wasn't another turnover. Big guy going to shoot another three. Missed it long. And the rebound goes out of bounds on the baseline. Will this stay with the Bulldogs? I believe it will.
Bay Springs right now just really, they have no inside presence. They can't drive to the basket or throw the ball inside to the post. So they're going to struggle, I think, for the rest of the night if they can't get the ball inside.
48-38, 4:50 remaining. Bounce right corner. The drive. Kicking it out. Attacking Henry.
Great job of collapsing on, contesting the shot. That's great defense right there. Just need to get the rebound.
Lane the miss. Bolden the follow wouldn't go off the side of the backboard. 10-point game. Pushing.
Wide open three.
Into the left corner. No good. Rebound pulled in by the Bulldogs. Long outlet. Here's Lane. Lane kicks it out. Big guy going to shoot another one. Leave it long. And that might have been the worst thing right now for Bay Springs, that he made that first one.
Right.
And he
needs to go inside and post up. That can't be his strong suit. Baldwin can afford to be patient right now. They're up.
Boy, a guy that big only makes me think back to when Renardo Sidney was just a skinny kid at Piney Woods. That was a long time ago now.
Right.
But he was that same kind of 6'9" as a freshman.
Unbelievable.
Here's the drive. Passes it off at the perfect moment. Stevens recovers for the swat. And Bay Springs has it back. Here comes Payton. Donovan Payton. 5 fresh faces will check in a moment for Bay Springs. And there's a steal by Baldwin. Ahead to Upshaw. Upshaw going to go one-on-one. Float to the rim. Nearly put it in. Good job by Payton just to make sure he didn't finish.
Right. Just a simple play. One-on-one. Just threw his body into him, hoping to get a foul, and he did.
Well, going back to that last game where Taylorsville started looking at the clock in the girls' game, in which Walnut pulled away late. Now Bay Springs can only look at the clock.
You can see it on Bay Springs' face, though. It's a 10-point game, and they have almost 3.5 minutes left to go, and they look like the game is over. Nobody has any energy or passion out on the floor. They can easily get back in the game with just a couple of stops and some quick baskets.
A timeout on the floor. 3 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. And we've got 48-38 our score as we have this timeout. And again, you've got coaches saying two different things. Baldwin, it's got to be more of the same. For Bay Springs, it's kind of Custard's last stand. You got to leave it all out on the floor and make this final run. But again, so much time left. Now this goes back to my shot clock question at the beginning of the girls' game.
Right.
Now the ball's in Baldwin's court, so to speak. They can eat some clock and force Bay Springs to foul, and they're already in double bonus.
Right. I think it's it's something that gets discussed all the time as far as I think it'll probably be 50-50. I would kind of like to see it in as far as now you have to shoot the ball, so it gives the team a chance to get back in the game. But when you're the one that's up and you want the clock to run out, it's like, no, we don't need a shot clock. I think it's more along with the high school line of having some the workers who can actually run the shot clock. I think it'll probably be more work involved, and I think that may be more of a hindrance than anything else.
You're right. Talk about a lot of stoppages to reset the shot clock, or they accidentally reset the shot clock, so you got to go back and put 8 seconds on the shot clock. I agree with you on that.
You have to be really trained and skilled to be able to do that and understand the rules of the shot clock violation and everything too.
And what would happen is you'd end up having to pay another official, and that would also hurt the smaller schools.
Yes.
48-38. Bay Springs the basketball back, trying to cut into this 10-point lead.
They need to get to the basket.
And attacking here is Brandon Jones.
That will help one more time, at least put them in the bonus, and the clock will stop while they shoot free throws. So they need to definitely go to the basket for the rest of the night. No jump shots.
It was Lindsay picked up his second, another miss and a whistle and a loose ball foul.
Clay does not. He hadn't had a great night tonight. They really needed that basket.
And Clayton just fouled out of the ball game. And what adds insult to injury is the fact that to the line go the Bearcats. Double bonus.
Clayton probably the best option they had of somebody scoring inside, even though he's had a rough night tonight. They just hadn't been able to get anything going. That's credit to Baldwin for the pressure they've had trying to keep the ball outside.
It is. Their bench is in shock. Their fans are in shock. Free throw is up and good. Devontae Gates puts it in, extends the lead to 49-38. His second free throw around the rim and in as well. 50-38. It's a 12-point cushion for the Bearcats. Left side with the dribble, crossover Bender. Pass, good no look into Washington. Tough shot, got it back, put it up.
Gotta get that first one. See, again, Baldwin just not giving them anything easy. That looked like an easy layup, but Baldwin rotate over to contest the shot, so they're still making it real hard for Bay Springs to score, even this late in the game.
Sharon Washington, junior, he'll be back next year. And so it'll be another one coming up. This to make it an 11-point game. This one is up and good. 50-39. Here's the pass ahead to Burris. Burris back near the half-court line.
He stepped over the line. He got away with a backcourt violation.
The basketball helped. Keep away right now for the Bearcats. Bulldogs now got to think about starting to foul. Fouls have been something that there have been a plenty of in this game, and double bonus free throws the rest of the way. An 11-point game. Baldwin's going to have to miss some free throws, and Bay Springs are going to have to hit some threes. 2 minutes left. Here's D. Gates. Across the floor, Ian Burris.
Yeah, Baldwin just trying to play keep away right now. That should be an intentional.
So not liking the call that time was Spivey, but Spivey had gotten beaten and he did not want to intentional foul. He just wanted to foul.
Yeah, anytime you reach out and grab him, basically put two hands on him, you almost forcing the official to make that call. They didn't call it the first time he tried to push him, and he ended up grabbing just to stop him from going. So.
First free throw is up and no good, but again, now Baldwin has the basketball, so it was all for nothing except extending the lead. So now you're right back where you started before you grab, except you're down one more point. It's a 12-point game, 51-39.
You want to always go for the ball, at least try to slap him on the hands to make him call that.
Pass comes in along the sidelines, and Upshaw swings it back to Lindsay. We have a minute 46 showing, 51-39. Bay Springs down a dozen, and right now things do not look good for Bay Springs, and it goes back to what we were talking about. Bad day for the South.
Right.
The North has been dominant. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out tonight, but this is just the first day. This is just getting everything started. It's, I believe, 36 total games will be here at the Big House. 36 total, 12 championships, 24 semifinals. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of basketball being played, but the North is doing a great job, at least on today. They play good ball in the North. I would know, it's just been 5 years there, so it's very competitive in the North, and I think it's only getting better.
Stephanie, for fans that are listening in that don't know you, kind of give us your history. You're right now at Brandon High School.
Brandon High School right now. I spent my last 5 years at Tupelo, and I got my first start in Meridian, Mississippi. For my first go around as a head coach was in Meridian, Mississippi.
Why did you ever leave Meridian? That's the toughest place to play on the planet.
It's great to play, but Tupelo is almost kind of like home for me. I got my first job at Tupelo, coaching Tupelo Middle School basketball. So when the opportunity came up to go back, I kind of jumped at it.
But you admit Meridian is a tough place to go win at.
It really is, especially now they have to go back as an opposing coach. I didn't realize how tough it was to play there.
And that's in the division.
No, we were in the division last year.
Okay.
We moved out, so now we're in the division with Forest Hill, Natchez, and Terry.
Still,
that's a pretty tough division, though.
Oh, it is. Still Baldwin basketball. There's a deflection. Stevens nearly got the loose ball. Down 2.
Just got to keep away and don't turn it over.
Just 85 seconds left.
But they've done a good job of holding on to it so far.
I think Bay Springs is just going to play it out, too. I don't think they're going to foul and put them back on the line. Gates going right to the rim. Good no call there as the ball is loose.
So.
Washington gets it. Then attacking.
Gotta get a quick shot.
3 ball on the way. Short, no good by Spivey. And Bay Springs saves it in as they go crashing. Baldwin now 5 on 4. Inside, Stevens gets a loose ball. Here come the Bulldogs. A 3 by Jones.
They don't have to continue to shoot threes. They can try to get to the basket.
Bay Springs not going to foul, or do they?
They called it.
They do. 47.2. The Baldwin fans can taste it now. Baldwin is going to snap Bay Springs' 18-game winning streak. Bay Springs will end this season with only 1 loss this calendar year, and it will be in their last game.
It's unfortunate. Like I said, 2 great teams today, but again, Baldwin, they brought it. I mean, from the tip-off even to right now, they had their mind made up that they were going to win this game, and they never slowed down.
Walnut brought it against Taylorsville in the 2A girls game that pitted now Walnut against Newsite. SV Marshall wins over William Sullivan, and Bay Springs, as you touched on, Baldwin was the aggressor, and so consequently this is not the Bay Springs team that fans have seen all year. Neither was it the Taylorsville team, and you've got to give the opposing teams and their coaching staffs credit.
You do.
Here's the leaner by Spivey, an air ball. Baldwin's got the rebound. Baldwin's going to get it into the front court, and then they'll probably try to dribble this thing out. Pass. It's over to Lindsay, back to Burris. 26 ticks left.
They may as well not foul, just play defense.
Here's the pass into the center of the floor. Burris down to 17 seconds. Baldwin going to improve to 27-5. Here's a steal by Bay Springs to the rim for the jam. Little something as a memento, a send away for the Bulldogs by Brandon Jones for the dunk.
It's a little bit too late, but it was a good dunk.
And your final, 53-51. Bay Springs gets it done, Baldwin gets it done over Bay Springs, and so Bay Springs ends their season with their 18-game winning streak coming to a close. The second upset in as many games this afternoon. So, final score 53-41. We'll take a brief break. Back to talk about it after this and wrap it up here on the MHSAA Network.